I have stayed in stablecoin nearly all year just to buy in big today. If you've been with me since the beginning of this year, in January, I sold the majority of my crypto holdings at the end of January 2022. I sold my Bitcoin at $37,000, and at that point it already crashed, and I just saw the markets going down further. And although I've tested the markets, traded in and out of the markets, played and dabbled into NFTs and gaming here and there, the majority of my holdings have been in stablecoin. I've taken no serious or long-term positions in any cryptocurrency, and the reason why is because I just thought that the bear market would be brutal in 2022 to yours and my portfolios. And yes, you and I could have traded and invested in this market, but the somber reality is that if you and I, or anyone really, have stayed in stablecoins since the beginning of the year till now, we would have had more money than we do right now. So like I've said, I stayed in stablecoin all year. This was a personal conviction of mine, but today's different because today is the midterm elections in the United States of America. And I want to share with you my strategy into buying back into the market. What coins am I buying? What ratio am I buying into? And most importantly, why I'm buying into the markets, and why is the midterm elections so important to our crypto portfolios. And this reasoning and rationale is perfectly explained by Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary.
We are going to get a major shift in terms of policy. And when I say that, this happens all the time. This movie we've seen before. The incumbent, regardless of what party they're in, always loses seats in the House. But what I'm really excited about is what's occurring in the Senate right now. I think the Senate's going to flip too, and that will lead to what we desperately need in this country: total gridlock. No more bills, no more spending, no more taxes, no more anything for the next 2 years to give us a chance to breathe, to let this economy come out from under all these horrific policy mistakes and all this inflation we inflicted on ourselves by printing $6.7 trillion. There'll be no more printing anything. And this is a chance for small business and the American entrepreneur to take back the economy and make things blossom again. I'm very bullish about what's going to happen tomorrow. I think this is a wonderful outcome, and it's what we exactly have to have. Too much government, too much spending. Enough already. I think everybody's frustrated on both sides of the aisles, and shutting down Washington is exactly what's going to happen at midnight tomorrow. Fantastic.
As you heard from there, Mr. Wonderful just said that he expects total gridlock coming out of Washington. He expects the House to flip from Democrats to Republicans, and he also expects the Senate to flip from Democrats to Republicans. And what that brings is total gridlock out of Washington. No more spending, no more stimulus, no more monetary policies. Gridlock means stability for the American people and the rest of the world, because markets love stability. And when markets can predict stability, the expectation is a market rally. I like to label Mr. Wonderful's thoughts on government gridlock over with Libby Cantrell. She is the PIMCO managing director, who points out something interesting in the history of markets after midterm elections.
Well, the market's like gridlock, Joe. I mean, every year after the midterm since like 1932, the market has rallied. So, markets like split power. They don't necessarily like unified power. They like the gridlock. So it might be a testament of sort of where we are politically today, but the adage is sort of borne true over the course of decades.
She has said that every year after 1932, the markets have rallied. This was like literally 90 years of history. Markets love split power, and this is just something that we can come to expect until we see something different. Check out this chart on how markets do after the midterm elections by every single president. So this is a chart for the stock market performance after midterm elections since 1962. Not exactly 1930, but this is good enough. We can see in this column here that this is what the stock market performs as before the midterm elections. A lot of them are negative, right? Negative 30% here for Nixon, negative 16% here for George W. Bush. There are other cases where it does perform pretty well, like in the case of Barack Obama, Trump, Reagan, in his soup terms here. But what I really want to show you here is that for the majority of the time, either 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months out, that the stock market always rallies after a midterm election. There's very little negative percentages on this chart, maybe negative 3% here at George Bush, negative 1% here with Obama, negative 0.3 with Donald Trump. Like, for the most part, historically, we are seeing a positive market rally from 3, 6, and 12 months out of the midterm elections. And you could see that here totaled out. We could see all of that come true. All of this just makes a ton of sense because predictability is the market's lover. Imagine you go home and you have a spouse that's unpredictable. How much turmoil would your life be in with an unpredictable spouse? This is the same thing. The market has an unpredictable spouse with only one party controlling it. We don't know if she's gonna spend all her money one day or be kind to us and be conservative another day. She's gonna send us into the poorhouse. And it has been chaos without proper checks and balances. For one party to have full control to do whatever they want and whatever they see fit to just stay in power and have their power. But now stability is right around the corner and Papa's going shopping. Here are the coins that I'll be buying into. I'll be buying into Bitcoin, HBAR, Gala, and Solana. The reason why I'm buying into these is because I looked at the 3-month chart and it seemed like all of them, except for Bitcoin, are pretty much in the red. They look like good opportunities to buy, and the core fundamentals of each project are things that I could get with. I feel like there's a lot more upside potential with these particular coins, HBAR, Gala, and Solana, not necessarily Bitcoin, than other coins out there. I could be wrong, but really, if you just pick your favorite coin, I feel like all of them will go up if Bitcoin goes up. But there's a word of caution because the big question is, what will the CPI reports on Thursday say? In my opinion, that's going to dictate a lot of where this market is going to go. I think we're already seeing an inflection, although be it is still a very slow inflection. So if we see a nice big inflection down with inflation, you better believe those markets are going to go up. But if the inflation is slower than expected, or if it just, even worst case scenario, keeps on going up, well, it's red for everybody. But like I said, I think we're already seeing this inflection. It's still very scary here if you take a look at this chart. And whenever I see a nice volatile green stick, I do plan on moving out of these markets and selling just to later buy back in. I will continue to watch the markets, look at the news, and look at different developments around the world, especially that war in Ukraine. And if you want to know a little bit of my story of how I made a ton of money last year and lost it all this year, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching. My name is Aaron. I'm just a cowboy exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency. If you want to roll with me and a whole bunch of other cowboys, hit subscribe, give us a like button on this video if you're feeling generous, and go into the Discord. That's the saloon where we're always talking about cryptocurrencies. I'll see you in the next video.